Are you thinking about selling your business? Well, if you're here, you seem to understand that you need to know what it's actually worth. Well, you've come to the right place. If you've been following our What's My Business Worth series, you know that selling a business is a process. In that series, we talk about everything from the three basic pillars that a business must do for its owner, you now, but the buyer soon, and how to calculate what your business actually earns, to valuing businesses using certain multiples of revenue, certain multiples of earnings, capitalization of earnings, rate of return, debt coverage, discounted cash flow analysis. All of these methods are used in valuing businesses. And so it's a process, one that few people understand and even fewer are trained to do. Over the past 25 years, people have come to us, business owners have come to us with a number that they want for their business. During that time, real estate agents, some of whom try to sell businesses, and they come to us after a year or more trying to sell a business at the number that the seller wants. In each of these instances, we've been able to identify one or two of the obvious mistakes that sellers make when they put a number on their business. In this video, I'll go over the 5 most common mistakes we see and how you can avoid making them. So the first one, and the biggest one, is generally unrealistic expectations. Owners generally have an exaggerated opinion of the value of their business. Now, this is completely understandable. The businesses had provided a wonderful lifestyle, a nice house, nice cars, a vacation at the lake, a lake house, or a boat, college for the kids. It's reasonable to assume that a business owner would put a high value on their business because it provided all of these benefits. But the key thing to remember is that it's not what the business has provided to you. The value of the business is based on what it will provide to the buyer and how it competes in the marketplace. We'll talk about more of that in a moment. Second mistake, trying to value the business yourself. You can't just take the bottom line of the P&L. You can't take the taxable income number from the tax return and apply some random multiple to it. You may have, as many owners have, heard something in the golf club or on the course or in the country or in the some kind of a meeting that a business should sell for X times this. The secret, of course, is understanding what the X is and then what the this is. And that therein lies the rub. We've had people come to us and say, well, Microsoft sells right now. I checked the stock market this morning. It sells for 23 times its earnings. Mine should sell for something close to that. Ludicrous way to approach this. You have to understand market conditions. You have to understand multiples. You have to understand the various methods that are used to value businesses before you can even remotely guess at a number of what yours is worth. If you don't go through the process and the proper steps, no buyer is going to take your number seriously. Number 3, expecting a fixed number. Valuing a business is as much art as it is science. When we value a business, the result that we come up with, we refer to as the most probable selling price. We don't do an assessment. We don't come up with a value that this is the number. Most probable selling price, we suggest, is within a range. When we value businesses, we use 4, 5, 6 different methods, and each of those methods of valuation gives us a different result. We need to know how to position those results on a scale and where we should end up. What's the most important one? We go deep diving on that one in part 5 of our 5-part series on What's My Business Worth. You need to make sure that you don't lock yourself into one number and expect that because you'll be frustrated. It'll never happen. You want to arrive at a target, a realistic target, and expect negotiations to move so that the end result is slightly higher, maybe slightly lower. The fourth mistake that we see made, and this is a big one, ignoring the competition. Buyers have options. At the moment, there are thousands of businesses for sale. This is the case at any point in time. Even in your area, there's a dozen, maybe 24 businesses similar to yours that are for sale. We have to be competitive with them. Now, if you have an HVAC company, the competition is not just HVAC companies, though there will be looking specifically for that. Many buyers are looking for similar companies, HVAC, electrical contracting, landscaping contracting, etc. We need to be competitive. You need to be competitive. If you're not competitive with the market, at first blush, buyers will simply move on to something else. It's that simple. Even if your business has a special sauce, it has to be competitive in the marketplace. It has to be competitive on two specific aspects: earnings and return on investment. If two businesses have the same earnings or similar earnings, let's use examples of two businesses with earnings of roughly $1 million each. If one of those businesses has an asking price that reflects a return on investment of 12%, and the other business has an asking price that reflects a return on investment of 20%, where do you think the buyer is going to go? It's very simple. We have to be competitive. And finally, also a big one, not considering the buyer's needs. Up front, at the early part of this video and in the first part of our 5-part series, I went to a deep dive on this particular topic. The basic 3 pillars of what a business has to do for a buyer. Over the years, we explained to our sellers and to brokers that we train, buyers want the answer to one question: how much money will this business put in my pocket? It's very simple. And the key thing to begin to answer that question is to identify whether or not the business will provide the 3 pillars, the 3 basic pillars of evaluation. This has to be answered first, and those pillars are: first, it has to provide a competitive salary. Second, it has to provide a return on the buyer's cash investment. And third, it has to provide enough capital to pay for itself. It's got to cover the note that is used for the acquisition. Those 3 things are the basic pillars of valuation. Figure out that first, and then you can begin to get serious about getting your valuation done. Don't make the mistake of going down the road without knowing whether or not the business does those 3 things at the price that you want. So what's the takeaway here? Well, if you've been through our What's My Business Worth series, you know that valuing your business correctly is the fundamental step to making the selling process successful. It's that simple. If you get this wrong, and if you don't go through this process, you will either leave money on the table by pricing your business too low, or you'll price your business too high, and it will never sell. So, if you haven't watched the series, the 5-part series on What's My Business Worth, I've linked to the playlist in the description below. But there are other resources. Another one is the Brokers Roundtable. This is our online support platform for our brokers, as well as the people and the professionals that help us in transitioning businesses, transaction attorneys, lenders, SBA specialists, accountants, and people like that. They're all in the Brokers Roundtable, and you'll have access to that if you join. Again, you could also access one-on-one coaching, which we offer to give you some assistance in valuing your business and any other aspect of selling your business. So if you found this helpful, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next video, which is on the 3 types of buyers and what they look for. If you have any comments or questions on this, put them in the comments box. I'll answer every one of them. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.